Hey, I'm with Jeff Haynes of the PlayStation team, and today we're going to run through some alpha code of Killzone 2. This is the follow-up to the PS1 game, and is of course very highly anticipated. And Jeff, if you can just give us a little bit of what we're seeing right now.
Sure, no problem. This is the intro of the game. You're Sev, you're part of Alpha Team. As you can see, most of your team is deploying off. Natko jumped off first, then there's Garza. Rico just yelled at us, and we're pretty much into the game. It really happens that quick. This is an invasion force. They're going onto the beach, and they're trying to set up a beachhead and establish their own territory. Of course, it's a little bit hard because the Helghast know that everybody's coming, and they've got positions for ambushes and strikes.
Right.
The one thing that you do notice is just how impressive the entire scene is. I mean, it's almost a Saving Private Ryan kind of a thing. You got guys on fire, you got guys getting shelled, people getting rockets flung at them. It's really, really striking, especially just because of just the visuals that you see all around you.
The effects look really busy. I mean, there's a lot of lens flare, there's a lot of light coming in. I noticed there's a lot of like smoke and blood that gets kicked up when you fire. Do you find yourself being visually overwhelmed in some of these firefights? It seems to me like you might have trouble finding a target. And just the way Killzone has always been too, you move around a lot. Like your guy is not a stationary person, you know, like your reticule jiggles when you're aiming at people.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you gotten used to that? I mean,
it does take a little getting used to. I mean, part of it is because the game really is very busy as far as just the number of visual effects, but it also makes the game a lot more realistic in some ways because you do have everything tracking particles and rendering them realistically. You know, it will track the lens flare from just moving through light areas to dark areas, and because a lot of the game also features natural, like realistic light sources from everything. I mean, everything from your guns to the lights on the Helgen helmets and everything else.
Yeah.
Everything's tracked realistically, so you've got a lot of different things that are trying to approximate reality.
Actually, if you could just fire your gun up against one of the walls. That's one of the things that we noticed when we first looked at this game is that, you know, when the burst of fire comes out of the front of your gun, it lights up everything around you. And that's just such a cool little attention to detail, but really striking when you're watching this game in action.
Yeah, actually, this is one of the last sections that I wanted to show within this first part, which is some of the ways that they're using the 6-axis control as soon as I finish clearing out some of these guys because they interrupt me. But one of the things that they decided to do is they wanted to add some different ways of using the 6-axis. So instead of just hitting a button, you're actually using the 6-axis to trigger things like gates or activate things like detonation timers or things like that. So there's a lot more manual interaction.
Looks pretty intuitive. Doesn't look like you'd have to think about it too much either. You just turn the controller to turn the crank, right? So.
Yeah, not at all. So yeah, let's leap to the next section.